right, let's look at our picture as we start to shade our eyes. You have to think about the direction of the light, which way the light is coming. All your pictures are different. So when you look at mine, we can see you want to look for where the shadows are, right? That's the easiest place to start. And you're going to lay in your 6B because this is the darkest area. Now she's really squinting because the light is coming from above. But here you can see that we're going to start in the shadow. Okay, I want you to notice um, a few things about your drawing. Um, there is a little shadow underneath your eye that goes up by your eyebrow. Remember, when we drew the messy sketch, we were careful about the triangle that was by your eyebrows. So when you're shading under that. Under the eye, remember that it does get darker as it goes down. Okay, looking at this picture of an eye, this is in your handout that you got. Every eye has a little bit of shadow under their eyelid, okay? Your eyelids are creating a shadow. This is really dark, this one for you to see, so we're going to look at the one above. So even though my girl is squinting, she has a really big dark shadow that kind of merges with her eyelashes. So you have to make sure that you are really paying attention to where the shadows go, where your 6B, right? You also want to make sure that you're putting some shadow on the sides of the whites because your eyes are concaved. It's a curve, right? So just like you shaded your sphere, the sides have some shadow too. So in the middle is the brightest and it gets darker on both sides. That's what we're looking for when you're shading your eye. On your eyelid, the same thing. The middle is the brightest because that's where it is popped out the most, and the sides get darker as we are shading. Let's get back to our picture. When you look at my girl, you really need to notice, again, keep in mind where the light is coming from. So I'm going to start right in the shadows. I just want you to see, you're going to look at your own picture. All right, so let's get started with my drawing. Looking at the eyes, I have my 6B ready. I'm going to lay down in the shadow. I know you're nervous, just lay it in. You can't go wrong if you're doing it in the shadow area. So just kind of take your time and lay it in. All right, so you're laying in your 6B in your shadow area. You really need to look at your picture. That's going to tell you where your shadows are. This also is going to help you from being nervous because it's easiest to see where the 6B needs to go in the shadow. Here you see that I'm blending the eye a little bit with my blender. I'm trying to pull it down to get the curve, the bottom curve of the eye. Remember to always erase your pencil because your pencil will leave an outline, and we're trying not to have that. I'm adding dimension in the eye with the HB, trying to get those small little hashtag lines. You're just going to go slow as you're adding in detail into the eye. And now I'm adding the 6B for some texture on the eyebrow. Remember, you're in control of your picture, and your pencil is the messy sketch. And when you start shading, that is your final. So you always have to keep in mind that you're constantly editing. Turning your paper upside down will help you trick your eye to just see space and not details of the eye. Thinking of it as an eye, but thinking of it as shapes. So obviously when you turn your picture around, you have to turn your reference photo around too and just look at line. Where's the darkest line? You also need to look for gradation to try to form the face. So I'm adding more 6B after you blend. You're pushing the 6B around, so you're going to have to lay in more 6B. All right, I'm still constantly shading and forming the bottom of the eye. Remember, the bottom of your eye is a circle. Your skin, your lid is folded over, so you want to make sure you get the contour to show with your shading that it is rounded on the bottom. Okay, I'm constantly just tweaking to add texture. Again, my girl is lit from the top, so she's really sort of squinting And you're just going slow. You just go really light at first, and then you just go darker, and you're constantly looking at your picture. All right, so just keep adding detail. Again, it's upside down to help you try to just look at line instead of thinking of it as an actual eye, and you're trying to form the contour of your face. So you flipped it back around, just so that you can see things a little bit in detail. So again, keep in mind the light in your picture, you always need to be looking. So I'm adding a little more 6B on the bottom. You're always just trying to look where is the darkest part. Whenever you blend, it gets taken off. I know I'm going to start the shadow. Mine is very different than a lot of yours because it's lit from the top left. We're going to start forming the face. So again, remember, erase all your pencil lines, and you're going to look for the shadows. Now, I have erased from the side because in my picture, her hair right there is really dark. So I can kind of drop my 6B on the side, and with the paper towel, try to start forming the face. After you blend, you always crisp it up with more 6B. Now remember, the side of the face has more shadow because it falls away, right? Your face goes back.